How's it? Hi everybody, Peter here, your Ginger Geordie geek. Welcome back to the channel, and as ever, I am joined by my good friend Efrain. How are you, Efrain?
I'm doing fine. Before we started the video, I was wearing a hoodie and I told Peter it was getting a little bit too hot, so I had to take it off. But yeah, I'm doing fine. Can't wait. This is our last show of the year for comic book advanced order, so I'm looking forward to it. That time goes by quick.
It does. And this is a show, as we say every time, we've been doing for a long time now. What we're going to be doing, if you're new to the show, is we're going to be talking about the comic books that are being released in February. So a good couple of, 2025. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
So books coming out in that month. We're also going to be touching a little bit on some of our favorite classic covers, some comic book reviews. We've each got a couple of books to reviews, and books that coming out next week. So we'll recommend a couple of books from next week. So tons and tons of stuff to talk about. We're also going to give away a few books tonight. So last time we talked about Ice Cream Man. So I've got a couple of volumes of Ice Cream Man here that I'll give away as the show goes on. I'll tell you how you can get in with that later on. But there'll be two opportunities to grab a volume of Ice Cream of the Man. Let's see who we've got in the chat, and then we'll crack on. We have got Fuzzy Dunlop all aboard. Tickets, please. Nice to see you, Fuzzy. I hope you are well. We've got Terry, Deadman. Always good to see you, Terry. Terry's saying no new comics arrived today. Sad times. That's a shame, Terry. Jack, always good to see you, Jack. Hope you're well, bud. God, Fuzzy got 20 new books through the door today.
Wow.
20 new books. Let's, how dare you? Let's look at books Peter won't read come February.
I will read them.
Yeah, everyone will read them. I'll try and read them, Fuzzy. Yeah. I'll try and read them. I'll read as much as I can. It would have only been 7 plus a trade. Excuse me, trade back. I'm on Terry's pull list. And Jack, I need a new pull list company. My last one, I think he means shut down. Who's everyone else with, please? Do you mean shut down or shit down, Terry? Sorry, Jack. So, Jack, lots of people use different companies. You're in the UK, Jack. So, interesting to know who Fuzzy and Terry recommend. We'll talk a lot about Slab Crusaders. They've got a good mail order system, so it's worth checking them out. Hobgoblin's Hideaway, Tim, now does a monthly books mail order. And I'm going to talk about another company in a second. So those two are interesting. But Terry and Fuzzy might recommend others. Okay. Are we ready, Efrain? Are we ready? Okay, let's crack on. Go. Like I said, I want to just start off with something slightly different. And it kind of nicely leads into Jack's comment, really, to be honest. This is a comic shop in the UK called Close Encounters, and the owner who set up the shop, I think over 15 years ago now, is a really prominent guy in the UK comic book community. He's got 3 shops, and I'll mention them in a second. He manages and runs a comic convention once a year, to be continued, which is a huge comic convention. It's meant to be really, really good. I've not been, but I'm going to hopefully go this year. And he's ran what I would class as a bricks and mortar comic shop for a long time. The reason I'm mentioning it, Efrain, is that this guy's put some very open and very honest things on his Facebook page this last couple of months, really. He's been really made himself very vulnerable, really, in terms of how honest he's been. But basically, his physical businesses have really struggled. So he seems to have had a run of bad luck. So part of his roof was damaged. The front of his shop was damaged. He had electrical issues, and it's really kind of kicked the wind out of him a little bit. So he put a bit of a play out for people to try and pick up the books. One of the big things he was struggling with, and I don't know if this is an issue in the States that you guys have, Efrain, is people who put orders in, but then don't pick them up regularly. So he's sat with like 6 months of comics on his box, waiting for someone to buy them. Thousands and thousands of pounds worth of stock. It's just crazy, and it's not fair. So I thought we'd do a little shout out to the bricks and mortar stores. So all of these online stores, your whatnots and all that kind of stuff, are all great, but please don't forget your local comic shops. They've got a massive selection of back issues, graphic novels, monthly comic books, weekly comics, all that kind of stuff. This guy's got shops in Bedford, Northampton, and in Peterborough. He's also got, and to keep with the times, he's also got a superb website. So Close Encounters, check that out. He's got a Facebook page, which is very active with some great offers on. And he's also on Whatnot. The Whatnot show he does is very entertaining, but it's not one to watch with your kids because he's a colourful character. But so please do think about checking out his website. Jack, check out Close Encounters. They do a mail order service, so it might be worth checking them out as well. And like I say, it's just good to try and help them out, I think, as best we can. What are the bricks and mortar shops like over in your neck of the woods, Efrain? Do they survive? Because a lot of them here seem to struggle.
There's this one not too far from my house. It's called Rocket Comics. He has a pretty big store, not just comic books, but they play games there too. And he's done like a little cons, comic cons in San Diego, hosted by them. He's got artists to come to his comic book store, for signatures and CGC there. So I guess he's thriving because he's still going. And there's one in downtown in the Gaslamp district where Comic-Con, Now or Never comics too. So they are around. To be honest with you, I don't go to comic book stores hardly anymore.
Yeah.
I just don't want to do that anymore in my part of my life. I did it for over 40 plus years, and I just don't go to comic book stores anymore. I try to find, read all my books online now.
I think this is the thing with,
hopefully that I know it's hurting them, but I just don't want to anymore. Just me personally.
Yeah. I think this is the change in consumer buying in general, because most things we do online now, but the shops are great. So please do check them out and try and support where you can. Dead Man's recommending Pebbles Comics and Games. I've never heard of them. Terry, not heard of that one. I'll have to check them out as well. Fuzzy, Terry's pretty great. Terry's pickup is pretty great, so check that out. Fuzzy's never bought a single comic from a brick and mortar shop, not one. Fuzzy, have you got, I know it's more of a franchise now, but Forbidden Planets up in Scotland, that seems to be the big UK one. I tend to be honest, I buy very little from Forbidden Planet, but I tend to go in and have a bit of a look around. Traveling Man is a good one that I tend to buy a lot from. Excuse me. Fuzzy orders most of his stock, his books online. And I've used their eBay store a lot. Yeah, they've got a good eBay. Also having a Whatnot sales and eBay pages, he's doing themselves a disservice. That's true, Fuzzy. That is true. Wow, I keep forgetting where you are in Scotland, 70 miles away from an FP. It's a long journey, mate. It's a long journey. Anyway, let's get back to what we're here for, talking comic books. We're looking at books coming out in February. And what have we got coming out in February? Efrain, you've gone for a facsimile edition.
Yeah, this was a tough month for me to pick comic books. Nothing really grabbed my attention, but I know we had to do this show, so I grabbed some there. And I just like these facsimiles for people who don't have the original books. I think they're cool whenever they come out, be it Daredevil or Batman, DC or Marvel. So this is Daredevil #1 facsimile edition, cover A, written by Stan Lee, artist by Bill Everett, who was the creator, I believe, of Submariner, and Jack Kirby. So basically, this is the origin of Daredevil, and everybody who's seen our shows knows that Daredevil is my favorite character. So when this popped out, I go, yeah, this is a cool looking book.
Nice.
So just going back over 50, 60 years now, to these Silver Age, superheroes, and this was my first pick. I thought I like when they do this,
I pick up the odd facsimile now and then. This is a great one to get, particularly if you haven't got a copy of Daredevil 1 to thumb through. It's a nice one. Do you get a lot of facsimiles in Efrain?
No, but every now and then I do grab them. I got like Hulk 181, and I pick them up every now and then whenever it catches my interest. I have a bunch of facsimiles from Fantastic Four, not just #1. They come out. I was just cataloging some of my books, and I had some facsimiles that came out that I like getting. So nice. I think it's a cool way to buy a book. If you can't get the original ones, So that's why I picked that one as my first choice.
Very nice. Terry's just saying we're just talking about bricks and mortar shops. There's a couple of stores in Bristol that closed down recently due to what we're talking about. Too many people not picking up the subs. Yeah, it's tragic. Let
me ask you something really quick. Mm-hmm. So books here come out Wednesday in the United States, and they have to ship them out obviously before Wednesday. I'm assuming like books for next week, they're already being shipped out. You know, they have to, you know, to get to you anywhere in the world, basically, you know.
I presume so, yeah. Our books go out Wednesday night, Thursday morning as well.
Yeah.
So like on the shelves. So yeah. We've got Andy in the chat. Nice to see you, Andy. As he says, evening, Padre. Always nice to see you. Dead Man is going to pick up DD. Probably the only chance of having one. I was going to say it's an affordable key. It's still a very expensive book, Terry, but it's not as expensive as you might expect it to be. If that makes sense, it's still, I think, surprisingly low value for a major book of that standard. Great book to have, but great book to have. Dead Man, now that all your bloody YouTubers keep saying it's so cheap, is it? Now that all you bloody YouTubers keep saying it's too cheap. Is that in reference to the Deadpool thing? And Andy's saying I'm here for my glasses. He's mocking the fact that I wear glasses now, Efrain, because I'm very, very old. Very, very
and I've been old for a decade, so.
Yeah. Oh, I see what Terry means. He says, now that we've all been saying it's cheap, it's not cheap anymore. I haven't looked at it for a while. I think I got my copy, and I cannot remember what its grade is now. But I think it was about 700 quid or something like that.
Well, prices are, I mean, now's the time to buy books. Everybody's saying, you know, it's a buyer's market. You know, prices are just plummeting, you know, so.
Yeah, if you're after a key, now's the time to try and grab it, hopefully. Okay, I've picked this one. This one piqued my little interest. This is 40 Coffins. It was the cover that jumped out at us, Efrain, because you know I do like my horror-related books.
Yeah.
So I thought I would give this one a go. And I hadn't realized until I thought this was going to be a pirate book or something like that because of the cover. And then when I started reading it, it's linked to Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula. So this is one by one they disappear. The ship Dimitri, which is the ship, in case you don't know your Dracula book, Efrain. The Dimitri is the book that Dracula sailed from Transylvania to Whitby on. So the ship Dimitri is traveling from Romania to Whitby, England, with a mysterious cargo of coffins as the crew is beset by a horrific killer. The remaining sailors turn on each other with fear and paranoia. So basically, it's the story of what happened on that boat. There was a movie out last year, which I didn't get to see because it didn't get released in our cinemas. So I'm waiting to see it. Last Voyage of the Dimitri, I think it's called.
Yeah.
But I thought this sounded cool. So one shot. I'll give it a go. See what it's all about. Yeah. So that one's interesting. I don't know. You're not a horror man. Is that one you would read?
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the things I like about when we do this specific show. We miss books, obviously, that the other one doesn't see. You know, so definitely it's a one shot. Yeah, I'll give this one a try. You know, I'll read it. I remember the movie that came out. The previews looked good, but I just never saw it. You know.
Yeah. Anything horror related gets my tick of approval, I have to say. Ooh, this is a nice one. Hi, Kenneth.
I've been reading. I finally caught up with the Absolute books, both Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. I have enjoyed them. It's a new twist. I like when they, you know, sometimes Superman is just so powerful. What can beat him? You know, and they make them more humanized, you know, more vulnerable in these books, you know. So I really have been enjoying this. This is Absolute Superman number 4. Cover B by David Talaski, written by Jason Aaron. It says Superman meets the mysterious Omega Men. Superman is on the run, pursued across the globe by armed peacemakers and Lazarus Corp's top field agent, Lois Lane. I thought that was a great twist when they did that. You know, Lois Lane is an antagonist, but I can see them down the line hooking up. You know, it's going to happen, I think, eventually in this book. But I've loved this book so far, and the Batman one. You know, I thought it was a good, you know, I like when they switch it around on characters. You know, we expect the usual status quo for these heroes, but you know, they got to keep it fresh for a younger audience. And I think they're doing a good job so far.
I'm enjoying the cover artwork. It's very cool. Jack's saying he didn't find it as good as he thought, to be honest. This looks good, mind. Is that in reference to Absolute Superman, Jack? I enjoyed the first issue. I've not read issue 2 yet. But I have to say, out of the 3 Absolute books I read, Absolute Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, Superman was probably my least favorite. That doesn't mean I didn't like it. I did like it. It just, I thought the other 2 were stronger. But I am enjoying them. Deadman says confirming that most stores receive their books receive their Wednesday books the Tuesday the week before. Not all
yeah.
the time though. Fuzzy, I must say, Superman has had the best covers for the Absolute Trio so far. You're right, Fuzzy, absolutely gorgeous. Oh, Jack's saying no, they're the Dracula bud. Which book was that then, Jack? Or the film are you talking about? Or are you talking about the Dracula comic that was out a little while ago? Because the Dracula comic was, it was all right. It was all right. We've got Leon, nice to see you. Even everyone, wow, Peter, nice cakes. You look more and more like my grandma. You cheeky bastard. I'm sure your grandma must be stunningly good looking then. So yeah, that's Absolute Superman. It's a good pick, Efrain. I like that one. Fuzzy's saying he's so easily confused. I am. It's me age, Fuzzy. It's me age. I picked this. I don't really know why. So this is Red Hulk issue number 1. Obviously, sorry. Leon, dear God. She's dead. Thanks. Yeah, the films weren't as good as I thought, lol. The book looks good. Yeah, I haven't seen that film yet, mate. I'm looking forward to try and catch it. I'll see what it's like. So yeah, Red Hulk number 1. Obviously, he's going to be featuring in the new Captain America movie. So Marvel are banging out a new Hulk book with good old Theodore Ross in it, General Ross. I fancied this. I thought the cover looked interesting, but then I spotted guest star Machine Man and Deathlock, and I do like their characters, so I'm probably picking this up more for the supporting characters than the actual Red Hulk, to be perfectly honest. Because I do like a bit of Deathlock and I do like a bit of Machine Man. But this says Red Hulk rages into one world under Doom. Thunderbolt Ross is in a cell deep below the ground. He's a prisoner of Dr. Doom and he's not alone. So yeah, we'll see what this is all about. Fuzzy's just saying this is ongoing. Who wants an ongoing Red Hulk? Very few people, I would imagine, Fuzzy. I think it'll probably be popular whilst the movie's out, and it'll quickly disappear into nothing, I would imagine. But yeah, are you a Red Hulk fan, Efrain?
Yeah, man, I liked it when he first came out. The twist of who he was. I remember when he fought Galactus and he punched him out. I remember that, and he was smart enough to grab Thor's hammer, I believe, in space.
Yeah, don't talk about that. It irritated us, Efrain. That was a ridiculous comic. Yeah, ridiculous comic where he beat the crap out of Thor.
Yeah, so I've enjoyed the character, and I think this is probably just going to be a limited series. But we all know Dr. Doom is now the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah,
he tricked Stephen Strange out of it. So he's going to be like the major baddie, probably the summer of Dr. Doom. And see what happens. Yeah. I'm sure he'll get defeated eventually, but for a while now he'll be the Sorcerer Supreme. You know what's going to be happening? I read too. I'm not sure if it was in the previews, but there's going to be the school of Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
It's going to be run by Doom.
Okay.
That area, yeah.
Interesting.
Doom Academy, yeah, interesting. Yeah, I just read that somewhere.
Fuzzy saying that Doom banner in the bin, it's awful. I have to agree with you, Fuzzy. I'm not a fan of that. The weird eyes kind of looking over. Looks like a bad set of 3D glasses. So that was my pick. Then, speaking of Doom.
Yeah, so this is probably the big thing. It's coming out in February. Yeah, I thought it'd be in the summer, but it says One World Under Doom, written by Ryan North. 6 months ago, Dr. Doom became Sorcerer Supreme, then disappeared behind Lataria's closed borders. For most, that's not enough going on in the world. That Doom's absence is not a priority, and some time without him feels like a blessing. But he's coming back. And it's like the next big thing for Doom. I think they just don't know what to do with certain characters. They've been around for over 60 plus years. How are we going to make them more powerful? And I think he's always been into sorcery. So, but the Sorcerer Supreme is supposed to protect Earth. So I'm not sure what his version is of protecting Earth is going to be. But I will be reading this book for sure. Curious to see where they take him.
Yeah, I mean, I will give it a go. See what it's like. It's 9. I mean, good old Fuzzy in the chat might do the legwork at some point forward, but this is 9 issues. Plus, it's going to have all the connecting kind of spin-offs that are under the banner. I wonder how many books this is going to tottle up to, because that quite often turns me straight off. Do you know what I mean? If it's going to be like 100 issues to read, but I'll probably do is I'll pick up this series once it's complete in trade paperback format. So I've got the complete story and give it a read. Fuzzy saying about the Captain America film. We're supposed to believe Sam Wilson can beat Red Hulk in Cap 4. Makes no sense. Yeah, it's crackers. The Ryan Brown cover for this is tremendous. Not sure I've seen that one, Fuzzy. Not sure. I know it's got some great covers. I have seen some lovely ones. Answer: too many covers. Too many covers. Yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll see. I do like that cover, actually. We'll see. This is a trade paperback, but I've stuck it in just because I got very happy when I saw it. So this is I Hate Fairyland Deluxe Edition Volume 3. I've got Volume 1 and 2. And they're like in a really luminous, almost green and pink color. They then started I Hate Fairyland again a little while ago with a new series, and I wasn't sure if they were going to collect them in this old style format of the hardcovers with the bright colored books, and they have. So I'm over the moon about that. I'm looking forward to getting this. I'm hoping it's going to be as good as the last series because I've kept away from it. I've not read any of it. I know Charlie over on the Killer Comic Show has read some of this and said it's great. So yeah, I'll definitely be picking this volume. I'm going to collect issues 1 to 10 of I Hate Fairyland. You read any I Hate Fairyland?
Nope, I never got into it. I bought the books. I read maybe the first or second issue. I just never caught on with me, so I never read them. But I'm sure it's good storyline, but I just never got into it.
It's just silly. It's just silly fun. So the original run, written and drawn by Scotty Young, was just an easy read, if you know what I mean. You didn't have to think about it. It was just silly. Now Scotty Young writes this, and he's done some of the cover artwork, I think, but it's not drawn by him anymore. Artist Brett Bean. So I'm interested to see if it's as good as the last series. I like, because I loved the last series. Terry saying, already wishing year away, Peter, with that Doom book. If it's monthly, the trade will be out in November. Crikey, yeah. Another year near retirement for us, Terry. That's all I'm focused on. I look at these hardcover books at least once a month. One day I'll grab them. They're great books, Fuzzy. Lovely, lovely volumes to collect. So yeah, well worth picking them up if you get the chance, mate. Okie dokie. More Doom Academy.
Well, I was talking about it. So I'm just a big fan of Strange Academy when it first came out. So this one's going to be called Doom Academy, written by Mackenzie Cadenhead. Did you think that Strange Academy would be the same in a world with Dr. Doom as Sorcerer Supreme? No, it's now Doom Academy, relocated from New Orleans to Latveria. So I just want to see what happens to these kids. How do they go over to Doom, knowing that he is a Sorcerer Supreme, but they know he's a villain too. And some of these characters were, like Dormammu, his son. I'm wondering, is he going to become a villain now, or is this? Why would you want to go under Doom's academy to begin with?
Yeah.
So yeah, good to see what's going to happen with these kids. So I love the first iteration of Strange Academy.
I never read any of it.
Oh, it's really good. I really enjoyed it. It's an easy read, like you said. With fairy tale.
I'll probably again pick it up and trade at some point. The original Strange Academy and give it a go because I've heard nothing but good stuff about it. But yeah, Fuzzy saying, was Strange Academy good? Yeah, Fuzzy, I don't know, mate. Everyone's saying it's canny.
I like it. So I just like reading comic books. So to me, it's enjoyable. Was it the best book ever written? No, but it brings out a bunch of whole new characters, and one of them that you don't think would turn evil turns evil. One of the most likable characters in Strange Academy. I went, wow, that was a good twist.
Okay. Jack's saying it's brilliant as well. So he's reading it. Yeah, I've not read any. I'll have to try and grab it and have a go of it, see what it's all about. Again, another horror cover jumped out at us. I thought this looked absolutely superb. Loving the fact that their eyeballs are popped out in the Sunday there. I just like me horror anthologies, and this is Creepshow in Love. Because obviously it's going to be February, which will be Valentine's month day. So romance plus Creepshow, this 3-course special is for all the lonely hearts out there. It's an anthology of 3 horror tales. So I'm hoping this is pretty cool. Cover art itself is stunning. Love that. I take it you will not be picking this one up, Efrain.
No, I probably not. I'm more fixated on the milkshake. I wonder if it's any good. So
yeah.
I don't think I'll be picking up this one. I do, like I said, I read more horror now, but this one now, I probably not read this one now. You can tell me all about it.
Fuzzy saying on the upside, we get the final issue of Holy Roller, Deviant, and Grommets in February. Fuzzy, that just makes us angry. I just cannot believe the amount of time between. I mean, Holy Roller was doing so well in terms of keeping, on track. So I cannot believe we lost the last issue. Same with the Deviant, just mental. Yeah, Terry, that's right. That's why I particularly spotted this one, because it's got a Patrick Hovar story in it. So he's the guy who did Beneath the Trees. There's going to be a spin-off a follow-on to Beneath the Trees as well soon. So yeah, he's a brilliant writer. I
really missed Holy Roller on the list when we went over it. I didn't even see it at all. It was coming out in February. Good. I really like that series. But then, like Fuzzy said, it's been months since the last issue, so you do lose interest.
That's a really good point, actually, Efrain, because I went over the lists in quite a bit of detail, and certainly the site we use, Fuzzy, what's it called again, Efrain? The one the link you send us?
Gmart.
Gmart. I didn't see any of the books you've mentioned there. I didn't look for Grommet's Mind, but I didn't see Holy Road or Deviant listed in the February listens.
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
But maybe they aren't listed because they're delayed. I don't know how it works. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They might be coming out in February, but they're not down as the kind of the listed books to come out or something.
Maybe. Yeah.
4 or 5 months between is just obscene.
Yeah.
Don't get us started on Guardian of Gotham. This is a beautiful cover. I do like this, mind.
So I've been reading not just here, but Lois Lane is becoming Superwoman. I'm not sure how. I haven't gotten that far into it, but this is Superman number 23, written by Joshua Williamson, art by Dan Mora. This cover artist for this is by Nathan Cezerdi, if I'm pronouncing it right. Yeah. Superwoman lost in time as the Man of Steel battles for the life of his deadly adversary Doomsday. Superwoman travels across time and space to unlock the secrets of the Time Trapper. So I'm thinking this might not be the Lois of Superman's universe, maybe a different Lois from some other universe. That she's became Superwoman. So I love that costume on her, though.
Yeah, it looks amazing. I know Terry's been reading Superman, so he might be able to tell in the chat. The bits I have seen of this is that the Time Trapper, who, from Legion of the Superheroes, who's been there from day one, it's been revealed to be a version of Doomsday that's got intelligence and things like that.
Okay.
So he came back in time and said something to Superman, like, I've come back too early or whatever. General Zod hasn't pulled your eye out yet. So it sounds like it's going to be interesting. So yeah, I might pick this up and read up on this a little bit, actually, because it sounds cool. Read the Superman special out read the Superman special out this week. Yeah,
cool. Will do. Thank you.
Quite enjoyed that. Terry had a bit of heart to it. Okay, so worth picking up. Okay, guys, we're going to give away volume 3 of Ice Cream Man. So pop hashtag Ice Cream in the comments, and we'll give this away in a couple of minutes. So hashtag Ice Cream, and I'll send you a copy of volume 3 of Ice Cream Man.
Nice.
Ice Cream Man's anthologies. So there will be some stories in here that stand alone. It does have kind of an overarching link all the way through it, but you should be able to read that and pick it up as you go along. So yeah, check out that hashtag Ice Cream in the comments, please, and we'll get this book sent to you. Okay, now this was an interesting one that I've picked, Efrain. So this is Bronze Faces 1 of 6. The reason it jumped out to us is myself, you, and the delightful Mr. James Keegan went to the British Museum when you were here in London. Remember?
Yes.
And Mr. Keegan all the way around kept kind of poking and prodding me about how us dastardly English had stolen all of the items in the museum and we should be shamed and blah, blah, blah. Well, bugger me, he has a comic exactly about that. So this is Bronze Faces. They go to the British Museum to purchase the works of Tim's father, a Nigerian artist. He's been invited as a guest of honor, but when the museum is heralded as a triumphant acquisition, the trio see as nothing short of brazen cultural theft. So it's all about how they try and take back all the cultural artifacts. Oh. I just thought it sounded interesting. It sounded a bit different. Something that I'm not usually kind of reading on. So I thought I'd pick that up. And Leon's saying, is that where you got the glasses? How dare you? How dare you? So yeah, so we're worth checking that one out. I think that'll be an interesting little history book based on a bit of fact, most likely. So it should be an interesting one.
If I had picked this book, Peter, I would have made you read the words on there because they're so small. I'm trying to read them. I go, damn, the print's small for this one.
That's why I've got my glasses on, Efrain. I can read all of that. I can read all of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, sounds pretty interesting. Leon saying, I'm not going to win the sweep. I'm like, Leon, your name's been removed. It's been removed. Yeah. Don't forget, guys, hashtag ice cream in the comments, and we'll get somebody some books. Okie dokie. So yeah, thought that one sounded interesting. Next, bit of Fantastic Four action, Efrain.
Yeah, this is for Free Comic Book Day, which is coming up next year. 2025 Fantastic Four / X-Men #1, written by Ryan North and one of my favorite artists, Humberto Ramos, on the cover. In advance of Marvel's first family arriving on the big screen this summer, Ryan North and Humberto Ramos craft an unusual story in which a Fantastic Four respond to a most interdimensional summons. It's probably just a one-shot. It's Free Comic Book Day, probably not that many pages, but I thought it was pretty cool. And then also going to be a X-Men story along with this, So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And it's Free Comic Book Day. I'm probably going to try to find this one for sure.
I haven't read Fantastic Four in ages, absolutely ages. I need to try and catch up with that again. The last time I was reading it, I think they'd been transported in the negative zone for a year.
That's been over 5 years at least, somewhere around there,
Cool.
They were gone for a while. Reed and Sue and the kids were gone, but Johnny and Ben stayed on Earth.
That's right. And Johnny had a very dodgy mustache.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I need to catch up because I do like the Fantastic Four. Mark Spears Monsters out for Free Comic Book Day. Yeah. All over the place. Last time Peter read it, there was only 3 of them. Interesting bit of news today about Fantastic Four again. Spoilers for the Fantastic Four movie, I guess, but the saying that an actor who previously played Mr. Fantastic is apparently going to be in the movie. So I think they're going to be doing the Council of Reeds.
Okay.
Which might be interesting. Free Comic Book Day is May. How come it's in the solicitations already?
No.
Don't know, mate. Don't know. It's not a different day in the States, is it? You guys,
I thought it was all the same day. That's a good point. I didn't think about that. I don't know. We'll find out come next year.
Yeah. Don't forget hashtag ice cream in the comments to win that book. Right. So we talked about Absolute earlier on. I think this is my favorite of the new line of Absolute books. I'm loving the Wonder Woman take. I'm loving the fact that she's kind of this monster fighting creature from the underworld, really. It's really, really interesting. I quite like our new power sets as well. Not a massive Wonder Woman reader, to be honest, but this is floating me boat for some reason. Loving the costume design, loving the big sword, all that kind of jazz. So yeah, thoroughly into this. So this is Absolute Wonder Woman #5. Again, with all of these Absolute releases, there are some stunning covers. This says a cosmic threat encroaches on Gateway City. Wonder Woman has thrown everything she can think of at the Tetracide, and still it pushes forward, devouring Gateway City. With everything on the line, Diana has one big idea left, but in her current state, she has no any other power she needs to pull it off. So yeah, really, really keen on getting into that one. You reading this still, Efrain?
Yes, I've been reading it, and I had a question. Is this universe? There's just 3 books right now, right?
Yeah,
Absolute. This is a limited series, but you think based on a popularity, you think it's going to continue besides this and make it like ongoing, other characters,
I don't think it is a limited series. I think these are all ongoing.
Oh, so
I think Snyder came out recently and said that his Batman was certainly an ongoing series as far as it was concerned. And yeah, they're expanding this universe because we've got Absolute Flash coming out, Absolute Martian Manhunter, Absolute New Gods. I think there's loads of them coming out. There's a danger that flood the market with them, to be honest, but there's loads of them coming out. Yeah,
I mean, these 2 big have a history of flooding the market, for Ultimate Universe is back again in Marvel.
Yeah,
and I really don't think they should expand it, but keep it in control. Don't overwhelm us because people will get turned off by that.
Absolutely. Welcome, Canadian Survivalist. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. We're doing a giveaway, Canadian Survivalist, for an Ice Cream Man Volume 3. So if you're interested in winning that, stick hashtag ice cream in the chat. Bit of rogue.
I thought you picked this one.
No, this is you, mate.
Rogue in the Savage Land, number 2 of 5. I'm surprised there's not I'm hoping there's a J. Scott Campbell one for this, because I'll probably get that one. It says Rogue races to rescue Khazar and discover what is happening to the Savage Land, but can she outrun her past, or is the ancient world her perdition? The Savage Land has a new god, but is she merciful? I don't remember. I mean, I'm not sure if this takes in present time for Rogue or is in the past, but it's anytime Rogue is in the Savage Land in a bikini, you know, I'll get the book.
Fair enough.
Just being honest, you know.
Fuzzy saying there is the J. Scott Campbell cover.
Okay.
Nice.
I will look for it, you know. Probably try to get it. You know, I'll be there with my money. Take my money, please.
Again, Khazar isn't a character that's ever really done it for me, I have to say. I know you had a series out a while ago, good few years ago now, that I think I got a few issues with.
60s too, you know.
Yeah. Interesting one. Fuzzy's just confirming issue 1 and 2 for definite for those covers. Nice. So I'm a sucker for more bloody X-Men. I know, but again, it's the characters that interest us in this. Deadpool's in everything, Wolverine's in everything. I quite like Cable, but it's more about Chamber and Thunderbird that's got us interested. So this is Weapon X 1 of 5, cover by Alex Ross. Cannot beat a bit of Alex Ross cover work. Together on their very own X team for the first X time, all in an extra-sized first issue. Lots of use of X there. When a high-stakes mutant rescue mission from the ultimate global hotspot exposes the true enemy, possibly from within, an all-new team of action icons suddenly find themselves forged in fire. Like I say, I'm a big fan of Chamber and I'm a big fan of Thunderbird.
Yeah.
But again, I'm out of touch with these characters. I thought Chamber was dead and I thought Thunderbird was dead.
Oh, they brought him back because of Krakoa. Remember, they were bringing back mutants from the dead?
Of course they were. Yeah.
Thunderbird was one of them. Remember when they brought him back, they made a big deal about it. You know, he's been gone since 1975, basically.
Yeah.
You know, but
it's the original Thunderbird. It's not Warpath. He's
kind of the original Thunderbird, yeah. You know, so I kind of agree. I'm starting to get, I don't know, man. Do we really need a Weapon X-Men #1? I mean, I'm probably going to read it begrudgingly, but I'll probably read it, at least the first issue. And I love Alex Ross artwork. But
do you find you do that, Efrain? Because there are some comics now that I read, particularly when I read them online, that I almost anger read them, if that makes sense. I kind of flip through them and I get cross as I'm reading them. I'm thinking some of the Spider-Man titles I've read, and certainly the X books, I flick through because I'm interested to see how bad it is rather than because I want to enjoy the story.
It's hard because we're such fans of comic book, you know, reading Marvel comic books specifically. But yeah, I mean, as much as I read them, but I miss the days when there was just one X-Men book.
Yeah.
I miss the days when there was just one Spider-Man book. You know, continuity, you know, it's easier to follow through on. I don't get quite angry. Sometimes I roll my eyes and I read it really quick. Yeah. I can say that I just read it. But sometimes I just think they just overdo it, you know. Yeah. And I'm not sure how much money they make selling books. I think you told me or somebody told me that they don't make much money selling books anymore.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's not big money. I don't think anymore, really.
Yeah, but they're still out there. You know?
Yeah, it's still going. Okay, guys, let's draw this. This is hashtag ice cream. Last minute to get that into the chat if you haven't put it in already. Hashtag ice cream.
It's coming with real ice cream in it too.
Comes with real ice cream. So just to show you what you're going to get, you get volume 3 of Ice Cream Man, which has got issues. Oh, can't see it. Issue 9 to 12 in it. It's got some good issues in it as well, some good storyline. So yeah, So that comes your way. So let's see who is going to be tonight's winner. I'm going to give another volume away tonight as well. So if you win this one, you can still put in for the next one as well and win 2 volumes of Ice Cream Man. So let's see who's going to get it. Laughing at Fuzzy's comment. Get in. Well done, Jack. Well done, Jack. Jack, drop us a message on Instagram and I'll make sure this comes your way. But Jack, don't forget, we're going to give away another copy of volume 4 in a bit. So stick around and put in for that one. You might get volume 3 and 4. So Jack, do us a favor when your messages, just say volume 3. You won volume 3. Okay. Good stuff, mate. Good stuff. Right. So let's get rid of that. Bring this back up. Fuzzy, I don't anger read, but I do hate watching some YouTube shows. Yeah.
Is that when somebody else is on besides us or not? Right.
There are other YouTube channels. I don't know what you mean, Fuzzy. Okay. Next pick from you, Efrain.
So, like I said, I have expanded my universe. You know, before it was just 99% Marvel, but I read everything now. DC, you know, a lot of indie books. And I've always enjoyed reading the Green Lanterns, not just, you know, Hal Jordan, but other characters too, like Jessica Cruz. And so this one is called Green Lantern Corps #1, written by Jeremy Adams. The Green Lantern Corps returns with a brand new ongoing series. The Corps is back. The Corps is back, and just in time for the deadly new Fractured Spectrum saga to kick into full gear. It says, join the newly formed Green Lantern Corps as they head out into the galaxy in order to stop Sorrow and his master from creating a power battery. So it's going to bring back the regulars, you know, John Stewart, Kyle Rayner, Jessica Cruz, Guy Gardner. And I just really like the Green Lanterns, you know. So hopefully it's going to be a TV show, I believe, on Max.
Yeah, it's sounding really good. Sounds really, really good.
I'm picking this book up.
Yeah. I love a bit of Kyle, actually. He's my kind of era Green Lantern. So yeah, I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
I might pick that up. Yep, sounds interesting. Next from myself, I think it's the artwork that jumped out more than anything, by Terry Dodson, because I do like his style. But this is Captain America and Volstagg #1. This is written by J. Michael Straczynski. This is part of he's doing a series of books where he's doing kind of bizarre team ups. So I think last month, Efrain, you picked Rocket Raccoon and Doom.
Yes, correct. Yep.
Yeah. So this is Cap, who's one of my favorites, and also Volstagg from Thor books. So I thought this looked interesting. Like I say, Terry Dodson, really like his artwork. Last night on the Killer Comic Show, can't remember which book it was, but I think Andy mentioned Terry Dodson. And it's funny because there's sometimes I just forget about artists that I really like. And I completely forgot that I used to love Terry's work. And he did a lot of cover work back in the day.
Yeah.
So I kind of fell out of touch with what he does, to be honest. I'm not sure I don't know what he's been doing like over recent years. I can't say I've seen him on any mainstream Marvel books. Let us know in the chat what he's been doing if you know. But this is Volstagg recruits the Sentinel of Liberty. When a war breaks out in the Nine Realms, Volstagg of the Warriors 3 turns to the only man skilled enough to end it, Steve Rogers. Love Captain America. A big fan of J. Michael Straczynski's writing. So yeah, interested in giving this a go. Oh, that's right, Terry. That's right. It was that adventure book that Charlie picked, I think, wasn't it? So yeah, sounds cool. So yeah, I'll give this one a go. See what it's all about. Andy's saying Terry is a lovely fella. Is he UK based, Andy? Is it someone you've met? Because I love his art style. I'd like to get a commission cover of him, I think, sometime. Okay, moving on to the next one. Oh, Efrain, Geiger.
I really enjoy reading Geiger, the book, the first volume, and I believe there's a second volume. There's already issue number 11, written by Jeff Johns. So it's a critically acclaimed adventures of the radioactive rebel continue. Who is the other glowing man, and do they have a cure for Geiger's condition? In this issue, we finally meet the poor soul who was transformed into a monster of mass destruction by the radioactive fallout, but then somehow cured. So Geiger is just it's a good story, you know, into the future. There's, you know, radioactive waste, And Geiger is a man who was, I believe, in the first volume, he was already sick, dying, but he was trying to protect his family from all the fallout. But he got, he turned into Geiger, but his family died. And this is the continuing adventures of him trying to regain his humanity. I highly recommend this book. I really enjoy it.
Okay. I mean, I absolutely love Geiger. It's one of my favorite reads, I have to say. So yeah, I'm all over this one. I've got it, but I've still not gone back and read volume 1. I've got the trade paperback, but I've not read it yet.
Yeah.
So I will go back and read that when I've got 5 minutes, but I am up to date with Geiger as it is at the moment. I think that's probably one of my favorite books. We were talking last night on the Killer Comics about how we're struggling to get time to catch up with all the reading that we do and all the rest of it. And a lot of books kind of drop off your radar, even though you're enjoying them. Geiger is the one that hasn't dropped off my radar. I still actively make sure I read this every month because it's just an engaging story. I'm really enjoying it.
One book that I lost, I've been looking for it. I'm going through my books and I can't find it. Is that ash can that I got you a couple of years ago from San Diego Comic-Con? The whole, that whole universe, but I just can't find that book anymore. I don't know what I did with my copy of it.
You're not getting it back if that's what you have.
No,
it's mine now, mate.
It's got to be somewhere.
Yeah, you'll have to come over here and get it. Andy's just saying that he got a sketch from Terry for 20 quid. That's obscene, absolutely obscene. Andy, this is a real fun one. It's not fun for you, bless you. Andy was sharing some pictures with us earlier tonight. He's got a book that's come from the States, a slab, and it was sent in a jiffy bag. So just like a thing. I can go one worse than that, Andy. Well, no, because the slab's even worse, I would imagine. Someone on one of the Facebook groups that I'm on had bought a comic book, and what they've done is they've taken it in the backing board and the thing, and they've stuck the label, the postage label on the front, and just sent that in the post. So no box or anything like that. Just put the stamp and the address on the front of the comic and sent it. I mean, that's just crackers. Absolutely bloody crackers.
There's no box?
No, just the comic. Just the comic with the label on the front of the comic.
Was it taped? That must have had to have been taped.
Yeah. But
oh my gosh, what did people think?
Yeah. Just insane. Andy said he apologized for that. Yeah, I'll never forget it. Fuzzy Geiger, top 5 fuzzy reads of the year.
Nice.
Ooh, Fuzzy. We're doing a Christmas show. Ooh, that's a great idea, Fuzzy. Doing a Christmas show on Tuesday. Everybody in the chat, Instagrammers, messages your top 5 reads of the year, and we'll talk about them on the show on Tuesday. That'll be really interesting, Fuzzy. Okay. Next for me, this one I hadn't heard of, never seen, but it's written by Jason Aaron, who I absolutely love. And the cover jumped out at us, so I thought, not heard of this one. This is Image by Image Comics. It's Bug Wars, 1 of 6 miniseries premieres. Slade Slaymaker is a kid from Alabama, suddenly lost in a vicious world beyond his imagining. A world of marauding ant armies, spell-casting spider witches, and beetle-riding barbarians. A kingdom of tiny but deadly warriors in his own backyard. The same world that saw his father eaten alive by insects now plunges young Slade into the middle of a brutal bug war. I think that sounds flaming amazing. Yeah. And I've heard nothing about this book. I don't know if you guys in the chat have heard of anything about this. But I've just not heard anything about it. So, yeah, very, very keen. Very, very keen. I think this sounds interesting. What do you think?
I picked this book. I completely missed it. Great premise, going down to bugs, seeing what's happening, So,
yeah. Andy's saying, not Transformers. That's not in his top 5. Fuzzy's objecting. Piss off. No. Thanks very much, Fuzzy. Appreciate that. We've got Andy saying, can we have a Fuzzy fact on this show? Slade Slaymaker, he got bullied at school. I would imagine so, yeah. I would imagine there. Yeah, but I think it sounds interesting, Efrain. This is the one I'm definitely going to pick up.
Nice.
Definitely going to pick up. Now, this is yours as well.
So this is obviously a monthly read. I just picked this one. It's by Marvel Cover Artists edition, hardcover. various artists. And then Marvel Comics has been the creative home of some of the most famous and beloved comics for decades. Their stories are, wonderful. And basically these artists represent within these pages are nothing short of glorious, from the 1960s to the late 1980s, featuring Art Adams, John Buscema, John Byrne, Gil Kane, Jack Kirby, Frank Miller, John Romita, Jim Starlin, go on and on. So I think it's pretty cool that they do this. I forgot how much it was. It was quite expensive. So I'm not going to, $150. So I'm not going to buy it, but I thought it was cool to look at the front cover of it. I go, that's pretty awesome. So, but I'm not going to buy it, man. So $150, man.
Nice. I like it. I do like that. I'm getting into these artist edition kind of things now. I'm watching a few of them on eBay and things. So yeah, do like them. Fuzzy fact: the use-by date on packets of crisps all fall on a Saturday. Is that right? That's interesting, Fuzzy. Thank you for that. Andy's saying, if we were a real community person, Peter, you would be organising a secret Santa. That's interesting, Andy, because I've been contacted today by a group that are YouTubers that are trying to organise a secret Santa that I've not responded to yet. So there is a secret Santa, Andy. Just I think only selected people have been invited. Okay, moving on. This is mine. I've gone for Valentine's Day Bluffs Massacre Remembrance. So this is based on a great, well, it's a sequel, I guess, to a great old movie, which was just tremendous, absolutely tremendous. And I hadn't realized that the Valentine's Day comics were kind of continuing on. So spotted this, saw this looks interesting, like the cover work, and it says, when the sleeping mining tower of Valentine's Bluff decides to host its first Valentine's dance in years, the festivities are cut brutally short by a masked figure wielding a deadly pickaxe. As the partygoers are hunted through the blood-soaked gymnasium, an unearthed time capsule from decades past reveals a horrifying truth about the town's dark history. So yeah, sounds cool. Wait, hold on. I presume this is about the Secret Santa. Was it Charlie? Yeah, it was, mate. It wasn't Charlie. I feel so left out. Orcs, yeah. So, last one, Efrain, and you're never going to read that, but last one.
Oh my gosh. I remember, I can't read that at all. The Herculoids was a cartoon series on TV. This is like a nostalgia pick for me. Covered by Matina, and anybody who knows their Herculoids, sorry, I'm not going to read that because it's too small print. But this is just a nostalgia pick for me. I remember the Herculoids as a kid. So that's why I'm going to give this book a try and read it.
It
so
says,
I'm not going to read the print. Sorry, guys.
I'll read a bit. It says, building on the success of the critically acclaimed and best-selling Space Ghost series, Dynamite Entertainment is proud to bring another beloved Hanna-Barbera classic to readers this February, the Herculoids. I don't remember the Herculoids. I think I can remember the imagery of it, but I don't remember the cartoon at all. I'm not convinced, Efrain, I have to say. I'm kind of losing faith with the Dynamite universe of stuff like that. So, I've not been blown away by much of what they've done. I'll probably pick up the first issue and give it a go.
Yeah.
Let's get these money's worth for the glasses. 2020 vision. Absolutely, Andy. See, that's what it's all about. I worry about a comic synopsis with that big. Yep, I've always said bigger doesn't necessarily mean better, Fuzzy. Yeah, you're quite right. Okay, Nope. So these are books that are in the February solicitations that neither of us are particularly interested in. You've gone for Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
This book should have been out when the movie came out, but I forgot why it wasn't published then, and now they're just starting to publish it now. So that's the main reason. It's basically based off the movie, The Rise of Skywalker. But for some reason, I read somewhere why it didn't come out when the movie came out. I'm thinking it's too little, too late, guys. This movie's been out for about 4 or 5 years now, at least. The last one of the Star Wars, and that's the main reason I didn't pick it. I mean, there was a reason why it didn't come out, the adaptation, when the movie was out, and I forgot the reason why, but it's coming out now, so that's my no way book. Everybody knows what happened. I mean, why would they come out with this? I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm done with that kind of Star Wars books, to be honest. I've tried to enjoy Star Wars comics. I got into the Droids book a little bit.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
But I kind of lost the way a little bit. I didn't finish that story, so I don't really know how it ended. I think I got irritated, Efrain, because it started with such a strong premise.
Yes.
And then when I realized that it was in continuity, so it really meant nothing. Do you know what I mean? Nobody could die. There was no stakes involved, if that made sense. I kind of gave up the will to live with it a little bit. But I probably should go back and read it at some point. But yeah, in this one, this Rise of Skywalkers, this doesn't really jump out at me at all. Andy is saying he refuses to buy any more Star Wars books that comes out. They've not been the best, have they? They've not been the best. Fuzzy's saying the film was mince, proper mince, Fuzzy. When the film's that bad, nobody needs reminding in comic book form.
Yeah, it's too little, too late. You know?
Yeah, I agree. I've gone for this, and this might be unfair, and I'm hoping people will shout at us in the chat and tell us no, it's great and all the rest of it. This is New Gods issue number 3 by Ram V. Ram V is a writer that I'm a bit hitty-missy with. I think some of his stuff's great, other stuff I struggle with a little bit. But I guess I've put this as my nope, probably more so because I've just got zero interest in the New Gods. And I don't know why. Darkseid's interesting, but I've never gotten into the kind of the Jack Kirby Third World stuff, the battle between Darkseid's planet and the New Olympus or whatever it is, and all that kind of stuff. It just doesn't interest us in the slightest, and I don't know why. I think the characters have just never gelled with us. Even when Big Barda and Mr. Miracle were in the Justice League and things like that, I didn't care for them, you know. So I don't know. It's just a team or a group that I don't particularly like. Peter's just salty. He remembers that remark. Which remark was that, Fuzzy? Remind us which one we're talking about.
He doesn't remember the remark.
I don't remember the remark. Suddenly don't want to. Yeah. So that's our nopes. Sorry, I'm with you now, Fuzzy. The Ram V crap that he gave is the Venom remark. You're right. Ruined a good comic. Ram V's detective run was so long-winded. Can't imagine this being different. Yeah. I struggle with some of his work. Some of it's great. Other times I'm just okay, we'll give away another book. So we'll give away the next volume of Ice Cream Man. Again, anyone can enter. If you entered for the last one and you won, still enter for this. Because this is a horror book, I'm going to do a bit of a plug for my other channel with James T. Keegan, One Good Scare. So pop hashtag One Good Scare in the chat, please. Jesus Christ, those glasses have affected his brain. It's because everything, I can just see everything so clearly now, Fuzzy. I'm like seeing through the TV. You know what I mean? Hashtag One Good Scare, and we will give away another book in a few minutes.
Right.
Okay. Couple of reviews, Efrain. Couple of reviews. Let's start off with yourself. We've got Captain America.
So I was really debating whether to even pick a review this month. I was like, God, what books have I been reading that have really catch my imagination? And I was just catching up on one. And this is again by J. Michael Straczynski, who's writing that book that you mentioned previously, the matchup between Volstagg and Captain America. That's by J. Michael Straczynski too. Peter, I think you'd really like this book. From the beginning, it delves with Captain America, and it portrays him as a very tragic figure. I didn't realize it. You know, he's a man we all know he's a man out of time and place, but this book portrays him like, I felt bad for him. In this book, he doesn't really have any close friends.
Yeah.
He has comrades in arms like the Avengers, but anybody he can really rely on, he just misses his era. And he's fighting this demon that they're trying to, I think they're called the change people who can change the world for good, and they're killing them off. He defeats the demon, but the demon was working for Death.
All right. Okay.
Death is like overwhelmed with all the killings in the world, and he wants to basically reboot the world and kill everybody off. He says he can't take it anymore. But his sister, technically his sister, who's good, gets Captain America to help her out and saying, you have to save these people because they're going to do good for the world. And she says, and I know your life is not what you want it to be. If you can fend off death and come back to us before the fight is over with, because he gets other mutants to help him out that we've never seen before. There are going to be changes in the world. They're going to be leading the way. You have to come back to like their club at the end of this arc, and he fights death to a standstill, and he doesn't make it back.
Yeah,
and then it just ends with him. He could have fought. He could have gone home. He could have been happy for once in his life, but he didn't make it back because he wanted to save everybody else. And that's the first arc. Now, the second arc I thought of you because it has the Warriors 3 in it, and it has to do with Thor. And you remember Broxton, Oklahoma, what happened when Asgard landed? The city was decimated.
Yeah.
There's a twist to it now.
Okay.
Thor has a lot of remorse, and he goes to visit the city or the accompanying city that was right next to it. And they made a documentary of it. And in between the documentary, there's like a glitch in the film. And everybody has that same glitch, and he's trying to figure out what it is. And he enlists Captain America and Spider-Man, and Spider-Man says, you know what? This is like a reboot. Like, like when your computer, you can go back in time to where it was good again,
Yeah.
That's what's happening right now in Broxton. They're not quite dead.
Well, okay. Interesting.
So I thought of you in the second arc just started. I go, Peter, I know how much you enjoy Thor, and it shows his remorse of what happened in Broxton. And I thought this could be a Thor book.
Yeah.
But it's on Captain America's, book. So it's really good. I highly recommend this. I mean, I've liked it. It's only like 12 issues on. It's only been a year, the reboot of this Captain America. Yeah. So this is my review. I really enjoy it. And I think you'd like it too, this second part of it, Peter.
Sounds interesting. This is a series that's totally passed me by.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I'm liking the sound of it, particularly that second arc.
Yes. I go, Peter, it just started. It's only like about 3 issues long. And that's the thing, you get so used to reading a comic book for so many years, like Captain America or X-Men, you get burnt out.
Yeah, you do.
But every now and then they get a good writer, and J. Michael Straczynski is a good writer.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm reading this book and I'm enjoying it,
Sounds interesting. Fuzzy's saying great cover, that white one. Yeah, I'm with you, Fuzzy. I'm really liking that. I don't recognize the art style, if I'm honest. I don't know who the artist is on the book, and I cannot read that on the cover. But I'm liking the look of it. It looks really, really interesting.
I think you should read the last 3 issues. The last 2 or 3 is this when he came out.
Yeah. I'll pick that one up, I think. Andy's 2 good scares. How dare you, Andy? That's Efrain and
one better scare.
One better scare. Hydra Collectibles channel. Yeah. Time for a fuzzy fact. Japan has approximately 1 vending machine for every 40 people. Ooh, international fuzzy facts. That's an interesting one, Fuzzy. Fuzzy, my son watches some weird shit on YouTube. And there's a YouTube channel that's dedicated to a guy who goes around finding vending machines in kind of random places. So just like a vending machine in the middle of nowhere in the ice and snow and stuff. Really weird, but interesting stuff. Torrin Clark. Okay. I don't think I'm familiar with him, Andy. Him or her, sorry. I don't think I'm familiar with him. But I love the image on that cover. So yeah, I'll pick that up. I'll have a look. I'm greedy. I've gone for 2 covers, so 2 comics to talk about, Efrain. So I've gone firstly for Ultimate Universe issue number 1, 1 year in. So this is the kind of the new Ultimate Universe is going for a year. This is a standalone issue, which is kind of launching year 2. Everybody got really, really excited about this book, and it's been kind of everywhere because Ultimate Wolverine makes his first appearance in this book. They're calling it a cameo appearance. It's not. It's a full bloody appearance. But that's like a 5-page story at the end of the book or something like that, which was all right, but didn't do anything for us, really. I was totally blown away by the main tale, which is about this universe's version of Nick Fury. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I'm not going to say too much because there's some twists and turns in the tale. But basically, he's working. It's not S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore. Can't remember what the acronym is. But he's basically working for the Maker. And he's the Maker's kind of go-to guy. It starts off with them basically lightning killing some poor guy who's making a barbecue because the guy said, "Oh, what if the Ultimates are right?" So Nick Fury's job is to really go around and quash any uprisings or concerns of superheroes. So you see him doing things like shooting the kids from Power Pack in the back, and things like that. Yeah, it's really good story. It's got an excellent kind of twist at the end. So yeah, I enjoyed that far more than I expected to enjoy it. So it would be good for people to have a read and let me know. Next, we've got In Bloom by John Pearson, who is the guy who did that sketch cover for me recently and the Infernals book. I think I mentioned this on the Killer Comic Show last week or the week before as my indie pick. This was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I loved this. This is basically set in the future where basically it tells a story where, and I don't know how true this is. I haven't Googled it to find out. But basically, the human body has got all kinds of flora, bugs, microscopic things on with. And it's a story about what happens when some of those wake up. So all of a sudden, you've got people sprouting additional limbs, or there's a horrific scene where there's a guy in the bathroom. He's got these red kind of spores all over him. And you think he's horrified to start with, but he's excited, actually. And they start pushing out little legs and things like that. I just loved it. And it's about how the world's adjusting now to these bloomers, these new kind of creatures appearing. Yeah, I thought it was absolutely superb. Absolutely superb. There's a really heartbreaking bit where it's not really a spoiler because it's in the book, where basically they've got a recycling system in the future. So the families are taking their grannies and things like that to this center when you've hit a certain age, and you get upsourced. So you go into this kind of vat of acid, and then your DNA's spread. Yeah, I just thought it was great. I just thought it was absolutely great. Okay, we've got James T of the Keegan in the chat. Nice to see you, James. Hope you're well. Jack is saying, I liked it. Just felt it had too many plot holes, kind of jumping around a bit. Got confused. Is that Ultimate Universe, Jack, or In Bloom? Which one are you talking about? Yeah. And Fuzzy, thanking Andy for spreading his knowledge wide and far. Okay, don't forget, guys, please do pop in the chat. Hashtag one good scare for a chance to win a copy of Ice Cream Man Volume 4. So that's hashtag one good scare. Jack is saying In Bloom. You got a little bit confused with. All right, okay. Hang on. I've lost my slides. How have I managed to do that?
Oh no.
I don't know where my slides have gone.
Okay. We can still talk.
Yeah. You haven't got them, Efrain, have you?
No. Oh, let me look. Hang on. Slides. One good scare. Let's talk toys. No, I don't see it on my list. That's
top one recommended reading.
That first one says let's talk toys. That's not it, right?
No. Okay. We've lost the slides, sadly. So pop hashtag one good scare in the chat, and we shall pick out a comic. So that's our reviews for the week. We've got some covers to show off, but we've lost our slides, so we'll pick them up next time and show the slides off next time we do a show. Efrain, that's what kind of coming to the end of the show. What have you got to talk about coming up on your channel?
We should be doing another show, myself and my cousin, Up on Comics tomorrow, the last one of the year. So we're just, it's basically my iteration of just talking about comic book and entertainment news. We just go over it. It's at 6 o'clock my time, 2 o'clock in the morning over there. So one of these days, I expect all of you guys to wake up and watch it, but it'll be on tomorrow. I talk about comic book and entertainment news from the last couple of weeks. Something I just decided to do with my cousin on Saturdays. We try to do it as much as we can. That will be my last show of the year because I won't be around for about 2 weeks.
So, shocking. Absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. Just seeing if this works. Okay.
Hey, look, GP Venom showed up.
Oh, nice to see you, GP. I hope you are well, but I hope you're well. Okay, so we've got our out now. So these are books coming out next week. And Efrain, you've picked this one, Alien Armageddon, which looks very interesting. Not seen this one before.
Yeah, me neither. I just caught it. This is coming out new comic book day next Wednesday. It says the D-Day invasion marks the turning point in World War II, but few know the whole story. The Allies and Axis powers were not the only forces on the beaches that day. We are shown what happens when an alien craft appears over Omaha Beach on D-Day. So I thought it was, aliens again invading Earth, but this is happening during World War II. And this is coming out next week. I think it's just a one-shot, but this is 60 pages long.
Yeah. So, I do love that cover. I think the cover is amazing. Really like the look of that.
You see what this is all about, So it's a one-shot, so I'm going to give it a read.
Yeah, definitely. I'll give that one a go. GP, thank you for joining. Put hashtag one good scare in the comments and we'll chin in with a chance of winning Ice Cream Man Volume 4. Fuzzy's not impressed with this one. He says it looks bad. I quite like the cover to that.
It's bad enough to read.
Yeah. I think it looks interesting. Okay. Next from me. So this is a one we did talk about on the Killer Comic Show last night, actually, but this one really jumps out at me. This is Freddy the Fix. It's an Image comic book, and it's from Garth Ennis. I love Garth Ennis's work. Really enjoyed his last run on what was it? The Fury and Punisher crossover. I thought that was really cool. So, legendary creator of The Boys and Preacher, Hollywood After Dark, werewolves, vampires, zombies, aliens, bogeymen, predators, and things that all have their kinks and they all get in deep shit. When they do, they call Freddy to fix it. So this sounds really interesting. It's a one-shot. Sounds pretty darn cool to me. Artwork looks pretty cool on the cover. What I can't work out is, I'm presuming when it's talking about Hollywood After Dark, werewolves and things like that, these are going to be the actual creatures, not just like actors and things like that. It must be a universe, I guess, where werewolves and things are involved with Hollywood shenanigans. So I don't know. It sounds interesting. A one shot, give it a go, see what it's like. I think it sounds pretty cool. Next, we have got our classic covers section. So these are just some covers that me and Efrain have picked out to chat about. Efrain, you started off with one of my favorites, the beautiful New Mutants book. Tell me a little bit about that.
When I pick a cover from days gone by, I try not to get like the old, classic covers, When the X-Men book was out, that was the only book around from X-Men. And when they supposedly died in their book, the New Mutants came out. And I thought it was fantastic. I went, oh my God, a whole new set of mutants that we've never seen before, which was at that time, back in 1982, was to me wow, they're picking a new generation of mutants.
Yeah.
And it's written by Chris Claremont. So I think this is to me, this book should be worth more, but it's not. You can buy it just about anywhere. But I really like the introduction of Sunspot, Cannonball, not Magic, but Daniel, Moonstar, and Karma and Rain. And, Professor Xavier, has to pick some new mutants to take the X-Men's place. And these were students, and eventually they would lead, his plan was to groom them to become X-Men. And it became an ongoing series also. It lasted over 100 episodes or 100 issues. And to me, obviously these are nostalgia picks. And this was like, at the time, back in 1982, I went, wow, they're picking a whole new set of mutants. I thought it was really cool at that time.
I love this book, and it's worth shouting out the art as well. The art inside is absolutely
Bob McLeod.
Stunning. Yeah, absolutely stunning. I've got this one, but it's a rough dog-eared copy. Yeah. So I am actually looking to pick this one because it's got some amazing key first appearances in there as well. I love it. Great cover, Efrain. Great cover, and beautiful artwork. I've gone for Marvel Zombies. And I've got another slate to show in a second. This is obviously a homage to Secret Wars #1. I just love the zombified version of these classic covers. And I thought when we're talking classic covers, I have to mention this little run really, because obviously we've got the Marvel Zombies Secret Wars homage, but then they also did a whole host of other covers. And I just love them. Absolutely love them. I've spent a bit of time trying to collect as many of these as I can. I would love a sketch or or a remark by the artist on these. I can't pronounce names, as you know, but I think it's Suidam. I think he's called Suidam. Correct as if I'm wrong.
Great cover. Great choice too.
The covers are just phenomenal. Yeah. GP's asking Kirkman doing Marvel Zombies. He started it, mate. So, well, he didn't start it, sorry. Marvel Zombies first appeared in Ultimate Fantastic Four, but when they spread out and got their own mini-series, the first Marvel Zombies mini-series, it was Kirkman that wrote it. Yeah. So, yeah, great covers. Really, really like them. So, yeah, I've got a lot of those ones on my wall at the moment, actually.
They're cool covers.
Yeah, they are nice. They are nice. Okay, so hashtag content stuff we've got coming up. Efrain's just talked a little bit about some of the stuff he's got going on. Just want to give my usual shout outs first off to One Good Scare, the other channel I run with my pal James T. Keegan. We did One Good Scare live last week, so please go and rewatch that. That's one of our favorite live shows to do, all your usual horror news and reviews. We've just tonight, before we went live tonight, recorded our review of Dog Soldiers, superb movie from back in the day, all about werewolves. James's first time watching it, so I'll leave you to catch that when it comes out to see whether he liked it or disliked it. Hopefully that'll be out next week sometime, so please check that out. Again, shout out to the Killer Comics Show, another show that I'm involved with my good pals Andy and my brain went blank there. And then he said Kev, Charlie. So yeah, please do check out Killer Comic Show every Thursday night at 9 o'clock for all your usual comic reviews, banter, silly rude jokes, and pickups and all that kind of stuff. So please check out the Killer Comic Show. I've got a video coming out this weekend on Sunday, which is Dracula versus Ash. Basically, it's showing off the two sketch covers that myself and Mr. Keegan got recently from John Pierce. So, and basically, I'm asking you guys to assess them, have a look at them, and see which one you think is the best cover. And talk a little bit about John's work in Bloom and other stuff that he's done. And then on Tuesday, we've got our Christmas Shenanigans show. So we'll be doing some geeky news and reviews, but just having some shits and giggles. So there's a few people joining us for that. So that'll be Tuesday night at 9 o'clock. And that is your whack. So lots of stuff going on the channels over the next few weeks. Just quickly checking the chat. Fuzzy saying it's the specs, they've gone to shit. They've all steamed up. Fuzzy, it's too hot in here, too hot, can't see anything. GP, not read anything in over a year. Yeah, it's tough grabbing time to do reading at the moment, mate. He's notorious for dodgy remarks too. Is that right, Fuzzy? Sidem. Oh, that's a shame, because I would love something like that. It's not a competition, Peter. It is a competition. It is a competition. Everything's a competition, Fuzzy. Okay, guys. Last thing, we're going to give away volume 4 of Ice Cream Man. So let me just bring that up on screen. You've got about 5 more seconds to enter the giveaway if you haven't already. So it's hashtag One Good Scare, which is a tremendous channel. You should all go check out. One Good Scare. So off we go. Good luck, everybody. Let's see who wins. Hang on, I haven't shared my screen. Hey, I'm struggling tonight, Efrain. I am struggling tonight. So the winner is Deadman. So Terry, well done, Terry. Drop us a line on Instagram, and we'll send you volume. Is it 4 or 5? Volume 4 of Ice Cream Man. So well done, Terry. Please make sure you do that. Send us that address and we'll get them sent off to you. Okie dokie. Just to say, guys, got 3 more volumes of Ice Cream Man. I think I've got a couple more next door as well. So we'll be giving those away on the next show, which will be over on Efrain's channel.
Jack, but it'll be on both our channels. So
yeah. Jack, I want to give my winnings to Deadman, please. That's very, very good of you, Jack. Well done. Thank you for that, mate. So, Terry, drop us a line. I'll send you both of those. That's nice of you, Jack. Thank you for that, mate. Very, very kind. Okay, with that, we'll call it a night. Thank you very much to everybody that's watched. Efrain, anything you want to say before we head off?
If I don't see anybody on Tuesday, everybody have a great Christmas and New Year's. Hopefully everything goes well with you and your families out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Lovely. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.